Good afternoon to everyone. Is my voice audible? If yes, write in chat box yes. If my voice is audible, write yes in chat box. Okay. Well, today we shall start from the definition of grammar. And first of all, I would like to know from your side what is grammar. According to you, how we can define grammar? Can anyone answer this question? And if you can write in chat box. Well, we can say grammar is the discipline of language. Grammar is the discipline of language. Why has grammar been called a discipline of language? The reason is that discipline is as discipline of language. Yes, correct. Your answer is correct. Grammar is the discipline of language. Why is it called discipline of language? The reason is that there is requirement of discipline everywhere in each and every field, either in our career, either in our any activity. Where there is lack of discipline, of course, that is not going to be successful. Actually, you know very well our forefathers. You have been the student of history, so you know very well there was a time when people used to have sign language. Sign language means they used to talk to each other with the help of indication. That is called sign language. That time there was no any language, and in the name of language they have only sign language. But as the time passed away and they developed day after day, they realized that there should be any language for better communication, and language was developed. But you know very well, in the different part of the world, different type of languages were developed. Even in our India there are so many languages which we don't know. So it was only the initial stage of language, but there was no any grammar, only language was there. And when language was introduced, for what it was introduced? It was introduced for better communication, but it created some confusion because of lack of grammar. Different people used to speak language in different ways. For example, Ram goes to Patna. Only for making you understand, I am giving this example. Ram goes to Patna. Someone is saying Patna goes to Ram. Someone is saying goes to Patna Ram. Someone is saying goes to Ram Patna. Everyone is understanding very well that Patna is the name of place and Ram is the name of human being. So anyhow, or anyway, what you speak, everyone is understanding that Ram goes to Patna. But in long sentences, or there where there are so many subjects or objects, it will create lots of confusion. And the same confusion was faced by our forefathers. Then the scholar of that time they realized that there should be a fixed rule by which everyone should speak in the same way. And then grammar was introduced in language. Today we speak Ram goes to Patna. It means what? We are following subject plus V1 or V5 plus object. And everyone has to speak in the same way. So here everyone has to speak in the same way. First of all, he has to speak subject, thereafter V1 or V5 according to subject, and then object. Now no one can say goes to Ram Patna, Patna goes to Ram. Everyone must say Ram goes to Patna. So in this way grammar is working as a discipline of language. I hope you understood why grammar is called discipline of language. If you understood, write yes in chat box. If you understood, please write yes. Good. If you write yes, then I understand that you are listening to me. and you are understanding what I want to make you understand. Very good. So this was the introduction of grammar with language. When we know grammar, when we talk about grammar, first of all, tense comes in our mind. I know many of you know tense, and many of you still have some confusion. So we shall revise tense, because tense is an integral part of grammar, without which one can neither write nor speak correctly. Okay, so here we will talk about tense. Once again, I pass a question to you. What is tense? According to you, what is tense? How would you like define tense? If you know, you can answer. Very good. Tense is the study of the forms of verb. Quite right. This is one of the best definitions, that tense is the study of the forms of verb. In tense, what do we do? We only study the forms of the verb. And according to the forms of the verb, it is decided that it is simple present tense, it is present continuous tense, it is either present perfect or present perfect continuous. Means there is a fixed structure, which main part is verb or forms of verb, and it tells us which type of tense it is. So let us start from, as you everyone has listened to me, tense is the study of the forms of verb. Then thereafter, you know, voice. I will ask you, what is voice? If you know, you can write your answer in chat box. I am waiting for your reply. If you know, kindly write your answer. Let me know. Can anyone? No one. Okay. Voice is that form of verb. Listen to me carefully. Voice is that form of verb which tells us that the person or thing denoted by the subject does something, or something is done to the subject. Listen to me once again. Voice is that form of a verb which tells or shows us that the person or thing that is denoted by the subject does something, or something is done to the subject. I think it is clear now. Now, voice is also divided into two parts, that is called active voice and passive voice. So from the definition of voice, we can define active voice as well as passive voice. In active voice, we come to know the person or thing denoted by the subject does something. In active voice, the person or thing denoted by the subject does something. But in passive voice, something is done to the person or thing that is denoted by the subject. If anyone has not seen or not listened, so I am sharing the definition also. You can say it, but you will not try to disturb. Someone starts disturbing by writing something, it is not good. See, here it is the definition. Definition of grammar, definition of tense, definition of voice, definition of active voice, definition of passive voice. For you, I am reading once again, and you can take its screenshot also for your help. Grammar is the discipline of language. Tense, it is the study of the forms of verbs. Voice, it is that form of a verb which shows whether what is denoted by the subject does something or has something done to it. Active voice, a verb is in the active voice when its form shows that the person or thing denoted by the subject does something. Or in passive voice, a verb is in the passive voice when its form shows something is done to the person or thing denoted by the subject. I hope all of you have taken its screenshot and you have understood it. Thereafter, we start from tense. Is the definition clear to everyone? If yes, write yes in chat box. Then I will proceed. As you are understanding each and everything, you keep on writing yes. It will help me to know you have really understood or not. Thereafter, when we start tense, first of all, we start with simple present tense. Now, this is before you. The first one, simple present tense. As you can see the structure, subject plus V1 or V5 plus object. Very good, Nikhil Ranjan, you have written yes, sir. Now on the screen you have simple present. I have started from the initial point. Subject plus V1 or V5 plus object. Here I would like to tell you where we use V1 or where we use V5. With he, she, it, name and singular number. He, she, it, name and singular number we use V1. I, you, we, they and plural number we use V5. For you I am repeating it once again. He, she, it, name and singular number it takes V1. I, you, we, they and plural number they take V5. Clear? The structure which has been written here, it is used for such actions which take place as a daily routine. Where we can use this structure? We can use this structure for such actions which take place as a daily routine, or it shows habit, nature, or any universal action. With example, it will be clear. She writes a letter. She writes a letter means वो खत लिखती है. It doesn't mean that at the time of speaking she is writing a letter. You keep it in your mind. When I say she writes a letter, it doesn't mean that at the time of speaking, she is writing a letter. No. Here I am imparting the information that it is her habit that she writes a letter anytime, but not at the time of speaking. When I say he goes to school daily, it doesn't mean that when I am speaking that time he is going to school. No, it is only showing that it is his routine, daily routine, and at the particular time he goes to school every day or daily. The next one, you always tell a lie. What does this sentence show? This sentence shows the nature of you. You is subject here, and it is the nature of you that he always tell a lie. It is his nature. The sun rises in the east. It doesn't mean that when I am speaking that time the sun is rising in the east. No, it shows only action, universal action. At the particular time the sun rises in the east. Now, when we change this type of sentences into negative, we use do or does. Keep it in your mind. Many of the students confuse. They make affirmative sentences, but when they are instructed to make negative sentence without using any auxiliary, they use not plus V1. For example, she writes a letter. So many a student will write she not writes a letter. This is not correct. This is incorrect. When you change simple present tense in negative, that time you must use do or does. Now the question arises, where can we use do? Where can we use does? So keep it in your mind. Where we use V1, there we use do. Where we use V5, there we use does. So you tell me where we use V1? Write in chat box. Just 1 minute before I told you. Write down the subjects where we use V1. At the same place we use do also. I am waiting for your reply. Write the name of subjects with which we use V1. Just I told you I, you, we, they and plural number. I, you, we, they and plural number. These are the subjects where we use V1. And with them we use do. And where we use does, can you write the name of those subjects where we use V5? Just I told you he, she, it, name and singular number. He, she, it, name and singular number. Here we use yes, Aditya Kasur. Good. He, she, it and name. Here we use V5 and here we use does also. As you can see in the example, C writes a letter. But when we change it into negative, we write C does not. We are not writing C do not. We are writing C does not. And keep it in your mind, after using do not or does not, verb will be in the first form. In affirmative sentence, it is V5, she writes a letter, but in negative sentence, after using does, it has turned into V1. Here, if we write, she does not writes a letter, it will be incorrect. So be careful while using negative sentence. After using do or does, you must write V1 form of the verb. So here, she does not write a letter. When you change it into negative, first of all we put auxiliary verb. Here is our auxiliary verb. Of course, does. Does is our auxiliary verb. We will put does at first, thereafter subject. You know very well how we can form interrogative sentence. So interrogative sentences are formed by using auxiliary at first and thereafter subject. Means auxiliary plus subject, that is called interrogative, and subject plus auxiliary, that is called affirmative or assertive. So does she write a letter? This is a question in interrogative form. Does she not write a letter? Intronegative, interrogative plus negative. That is called intronegative. Does she not write a letter? तो here she writes a letter. क्या वो खत लिखती है? She writes a letter. वह एक खत लिखती है. She does not write a letter. वह एक खत नहीं लिखती है. Does she write a letter? क्या वो एक खत लिखती है? Does she not write a letter? क्या वो एक खत नहीं लिखती है? I hope you have understood it and there is no any confusion now. Is it okay? Then write yes in chat box if you have understood this structure. I don't think any problem, and if there is any problem you may write in chat box. I will make you understand once again. Is there any problem from your side? I am waiting for your reply.